Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers work with Air Force to deliver daily supplies to 2 boarding schools. Tzu Chi volunteers visit impoverished families in Ladysmith to give lessons from Master Jingyan. Welcome to Diary Headlines. I'm Maggie Ted. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter continues to carry out epidemic relief in various provinces. Recently, West Java, Tzu Chi worked with the Air Force to send 300 daily supplies to impoverished students at 2 boarding schools.
In the current epidemic, Tzu Chi volunteers need to observe strict epidemic prevention measures before sending out love and care. On this day, volunteers joined the Air Force to distribute aid supplies in Subang County, West Java.
In
the 2 boarding schools we visited today, most of the students are from impoverished families. Especially because of the epidemic, the income of the families is reduced, thanks to Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter for their willingness to help them.
The 2 boarding schools mentioned are Tofatu Alfel and Etowasan. Children are currently conducting distant learnings at home, so the teachers act as representatives to accept the supplies.
Since the epidemic outbreak, children have already taken 3 months off. We thought that their study could not be left behind, so we changed to online teaching. Their learning outcome is not as good as when they come to learn at the boarding school.
Samping itu kami juga mengucapkan terima kasih atas bantuan.
I hope this encouragement is helpful to the children. I'm very grateful to the Air Force and Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter for specially sending these supplies to us. This is very helpful.
Mudah-mudahan bantuan itu bermanfaat untuk kita semua.
The epidemic in Indonesia has not yet slowed down significantly. Tzu Chi and the government units are ready to provide timely assistance to those in need whenever possible.
During epidemic prevention period, college students from outer islands cannot return to their hometown nor go outside to work to earn money, yet they need to take online classes. Julianti, who runs a dormitory in Jakarta, set up a simple kitchen to provide free meals for these students.
Tzu Chi is a student kitchen set up by a group of college students in Jakarta, providing free meals for the students on outer islands during the epidemic. The initiator, Julianti, who runs a dormitory near Indonesian Christian University, saw many students on the outer islands fail to eat 3 meals a day. As a result, she mobilized her friends to distribute free meals to the students. She set up a simple common kitchen in the dormitory to cook 100 meals a day for the students from outlying islands. In order to prevent students from gathering, the meals are all collected by senior students.
Dapur anak kos by Tzu Chi ini didirikan oleh.
The free school meal was initiated by me. I am also a student and I want to help others get through the academic prevention period. We all take online classes, so I hope everyone can save money for data usage to attend classes.
Beli paket data karena kuliah online tuh nggak gampang. Siapa mau help ya kan?
Students from 2 of the easternmost islands of Indonesia have problems getting 3 meals a day during this period. Before attending online classes, they first come to collect the meal, which is indeed a great help to them.
Sangat terbantu sekali ya, soalnya
It's very helpful because we are foreign students and there is no kitchen in the dormitory. If we have some ingredients, we can take it here for them to cook. It's really convenient to us because we have to take online classes and have no time to cook 3 meals.
Kalau kuliah online, untuk memasak lagi kan kayak ribet banget kan, udah datang langsung sini.
Students living in the outer islands of the East Jakarta can pick up meals regularly every day. If some of their cooking skills are good, they can also help to cook.
In Indonesia, if the community encounters difficulties, people within this community will try their best to assist this family. During the pandemic, the residents in Depak, West Java set up a free grocery store to provide free food for unemployed locals.
In Depak, West Java, the store clerk was busy preparing for the goods in the morning. There is everything here, and it looks more like a convenience store. This is a free grocery store opened by residents. The goods on the shelves in the store include 1 kilogram of white rice and white sugar, eggs, milk, masks, and so on. Those items are free of charge. The 50 households who came to collect supplies every day are low-income families or those who are struggling because of unemployment.
Dengan inisiatif dari beberapa warga, salah satunya adalah
This store was initiated by several people, but two of them were the key persons. We tried to set up a material center for the residents to make good use of.
Untuk yang bisa dimanfaatkan oleh warga kita, khususnya warga RW 08.
People who come in to collect materials must wash their hands at the door, wear masks, and keep social distancing. The number of the people entering the store must also be controlled. The event was launched in April this year, and a total of 400 families received the subsidies. A local resident who originally operated a tailor shop had to suspend business due to the customers being afraid to come in store during the pandemic. With these aids, he can reduce some of his family's burdens.
These items really help a lot. I'm very grateful to the neighborhood chief and all the people who donated, and those who are willing to help us. Due to the pandemic, it has caused us a big impact. These things are very helpful to us.
Each family can receive supplies and cash. All resources are donated from government, institutions, and kind individuals. The free grocery store will continue to operate until the pandemic has been controlled.
The second Tzu Chi preschool in Singapore has officially launched. It just started when the movement restriction order ended, hence not many children came to the school. All teachers and students strictly abided to preventive measures, including wearing masks, keeping safe social distancing, and maintaining good personal hygiene.
In this unfamiliar environment, the little girl is crying for her mother, and her elder sister is busy comforting her. The second Tzu Chi Great Love Preschool in Singapore has started operation. However, under the epidemic situation, social distancing and epidemic prevention measures are strictly enforced, so parents are prohibited from accompanying their children when school starts.
We need to wear face shield because you will protect yourself.
The post-circuit breaker new norm will be having to be more vigilant about social distancing and observing proper personal hygiene. This is something that we will have to adapt to because of the safety of the children as well as the teachers.
Can you hatchook at your friends?
No,
What do you need to do when you want to sneeze?
you want to cover your mouth.
Tzu Chi Preschool has been established in Singapore for 6 years, and the holistic educational concept has won parental recognition. Now the second branch of the school has started. Some parents allow their students to transfer from Yishun, while others send their children to the new school even though they live far away.
We live in the south, so this one is obviously much closer than Yishun. The improvement we see in Yishun, my son, is every day in school, he come back, he will learn something new. For example, he know how to say, he know how to like感恩. He really know how to do all this thank you, please thing at home now.
I hope that she can learn to be independent with self-help skills acquired from Tzu Chi School. And I believe the teachers are able to provide the environment and the guidance for my child.
Good character education starts from an early age. With teachers' love and kindness, children from 1.5 to 6 years old will grow up healthy here.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Ladysmith, South Africa visit care recipients regularly every month. However, due to the lockdown, they need to suspend their visits. On the last day before lockdown, volunteers visit all the care recipients and send them blessings from Master Jing Yan and all volunteers around the world. They also taught them how to observe epidemic prevention measures.
The COVID-19 epidemic has changed the city, but in a small village of Ladysmith, no one is afraid. Volunteers are singing happily with children, echoing the sound of nature.
Are you ready for Jerusalem? Are you ready?
This is a regular monthly charity visit by Tzu Chi volunteers in Ladysmith. They rush to pay home visits before the lockdown is implemented. 24-year-old Felicia and her mother depend on each other. Only when volunteers come to visit, she has a chance to show the youthful vitality of her age. she is having fun with everyone. Bogani, who is severely disabled, is taken care of by his uncle. Although he can't communicate with volunteers, he is so excited when seeing them. This day, volunteers also suggest his uncle take him out in the sunshine.
Sometimes you can take him outside. Use the wheelchair, take outside.
Grandma Atlas Dilala, who is sitting under the tree to cool off, always has pain in her two legs. She ties the painful area with a plastic bag. Every time volunteers visit, they will give her a follow-up massage.
We came with blessings of our Master. Look inside, there is an image of Buddha. Bless all of us could pass through the epidemic safely.
Banji, who suffered a stroke 8 years ago, has been a Tzu Chi care recipient for many years. She has a deep relationship with volunteers. Every time she meets them, she can't help bursting into tears.
They like to see us here. Yeah, she can speak now. Oh. Say yes.
Volunteers give her the red envelope of wisdom and blessing, together with their sincere singing, to bless this family and keep them safe and auspicious.
Malaysia's Batu Pahat district has experienced heavy rain for several days, causing damage to 2 villages. Many residents were affected and compelled to take shelter. After receiving the news, local Tzu Chi volunteers immediately went to the disaster area to distribute aid.
When the Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at Bingtong village, floodwaters could be seen outside every household. Many residents had not slept for days.
The sewage ditch in Bingtong village is blocked and the water isn't being released.
This is the Batu Pahat district, Bingtong village, and Perit Pulai Lapis village. Due to the low-lying area, flooding can be caused by heavy rain. Many residents are forced to evacuate to shelters.
I just moved in today. My children moved in a few days ago. They came from another shelter to this one, and now we are together.
Tzu Chi volunteers immediately started visiting survivors and hosting a distribution with consolation money and daily necessities given out.
I didn't go to the shelter because I had too much work to do. We continued to live at home, and where there's water, we would sleep elsewhere.
Thanks for the visit. Although the water levels are not high here, cleaning takes a lot of effort. Thanks for sending these supplies.
I never thought that after the flood you would come to care for us and come to understand our problems and ask about our needs. It's very heartwarming. Thank you so much.
Tzu Chi volunteers over 2 days visited heavily affected households to listen to their needs while promising further help if needed.
The early days of Taiwan's garbage collection was imperfect as most people did little sorting of recyclables. It wasn't until Taipei City started implementing a fee for garbage disposal by charging for bags with recycled materials and subject to the cost. Now this model has spread to the central government as well as internationally as a model for recycling.
The whole family is happily having dinner together, and at the end they do this action every day.
这个盒子打开，好这个塑胶袋拿出来，这个是塑胶类。
Household recycling must be done carefully. Taiwan's resource recovery market started in the 1960s with private free markets. Everyone did their own thing without an organized system. It didn't begin integration until 1987.
From 1987 to 1997, there were 8 foundations established to do this work. These foundations are the manufacturers that import and manufacture, and they are responsible for the recycling work themselves.
In 1998, the EPA took over these 8 foundations and included them in government business. However, garbage classification is not mandatory at this time. It was only until 2005 the EPA announced mandatory classification.
Garbage is divided into 3 categories, including basic garbage, resource recycling, and food waste. That is, your garbage cannot be disposed of as recycling, and recycling cannot be mixed in your garbage.
In fact, as early as 2000, Taipei City took a step ahead to introduce a garbage collection fee to be charged for bags, making more people aware of the need to follow the recycling system.
Because you have to pay for this garbage bag, everyone will start to reduce their consumption and create less garbage.
Garbage bags cost money and recyclables can be collected for free as many start to sort their garbage. Since the implementation of the bag collection fee in Taipei City, the city's average garbage volume has been reduced by 32%. When New Taipei City did a similar policy, it has reduced its garbage by 36%. Apart from relying on policy to inspire such a change, environmental awareness amongst the public is gradually rising.
We can donate this to a toy bank. We are not going to sell it. Instead, we are giving it to nursery schools or to disadvantaged children.
Toys not wanted by these children can still be used as they are not simply garbage. Recycled resources that can be sold for money are turned over to these self-employed recyclers. Wu Chengfu is an interior designer and head of a household, as well as a travel show host. But what many of his friends know about him is his ability to magically turn garbage into gold. This is not something for sale, but actually a statue of Iron Man, all made from recycled materials, head to toe.
We collected a lot of cartoons, some Yakult bottles and cake boxes.
Like treasure hunting, this item with the character for double happiness is on the arm, and many bottles of Yakult appeared on the robot's waist. He spent a lot of time and effort creating art from trash, but his main intention was to educate his children.
My children are small. I don't want to buy many toys for them because the ones that we bought, if they play with it a lot, a joint will break and it will easily become garbage.
Resource recycling has become a hallmark of Taiwan. Doing a good job of front-end classification makes good use of resources and saves energy, preserving the environment for the next generation.
Fan Changyou, a Tzu Chi volunteer at the age of 36, faced a 3-year business failure and debt. Later, he was diagnosed with terminal nasopharyngeal cancer. Today, Fan Changyou is 59-year-old, and how is he doing? Let's take a look and see him.
你要去倒几个单位？来，海关。来，放后壁，放后壁。
对不对？
About
4 o'clock in the morning, Dharma master from Jingsi abode were doing morning lessons. The master walked in the outside corridor to do exercises. It was very quiet at that time, and the insects could be heard. The master said that she could hear the soul of injustice were crying, so the master has always encouraged us to embrace vegetarianism.
明雪他们来了吗？
The tumor is accumulated over time, and the food is eaten and left in the body. What is a more terrible cancer? The Chinese character of cancer has a character of disease next to it. There are 3 mouths in the word, and there are mountains below it, like tumors pile up like mountains.
Expanding and analyzing the characters, she tries to persuade everyone to eat healthy in this lesson.
It's easier for everyone to understand that the disease enters through the mouth.
It can guide people who are not yet vegetarian to enter this field slowly.
My wife is very afraid of living creatures, so I used to cook the living creatures. It's all I did. So I had a lot of bad karma with all living beings. When I was 36 years old, karma caught up to me.
冻水放射线治疗，创超伟大啊！这20几年这唔知哪几延期啊，嘛是个乌索索啊，恢复袂转来啊。
伊个唔过话人个比你会个较明显。当时是
The diagnosis was at 36 years of age. At that time, you first discovered that there was a lump in the right neck, and then he coughed up sputum was bloody, which has been for 2 to 3 months.
After reading the medical records from more than 20 years ago, it was discovered that Fang Changyou was the person who experimented with new therapies.
At that time, two groups of people with the same condition became experimenters of the National Institutes of Health. You are an experimenter using 5 drugs and electrochemotherapy. The other group used only electrochemotherapy. It turns out that your group is better.
我的好胜心比较强，所以我认为输人不输阵啦，我会这么想法，所以我的好胜心算强。
生出了性别。
On the road of fighting cancer, Fang Changyou relied on his wife for support.
我要做大一张快。
An illness turned his life around and found a direction. Therefore, Fang Changyou has been eating vegetarian for 22 years.
There is rice provided, but volunteers help me to prepare rice noodles because the rice is too dry for me to swallow, so the sisters are very mindful of me.
Faisal Hu, a Tzu Chi volunteer, presented a 500-year-old handwritten manuscript of the Quran to Master Zheng Yan. This Quran was also once exhibited at the National Taiwan Museum. At the event, Faisal Hu said Islam and Buddhism share a common concept, which is the spirit of love and kind works among humanity.
One is 20 years old and one is a 500-year-old handwritten manuscript. I give both Qurans to Master Zheng Yan.
The yellowish mottled 500-year-old Quran manuscript was given by Tzu Chi volunteer Faisal Hu to Master Zheng Yan.
The Quran for Muslims is a very precious gift from Allah. We found this version in an old book market in Istanbul. It was once collected by the National Taiwan Museum. I believe that Tzu Chi can protect this precious heirloom better.
在慈济能够把这一个传家宝能够保护得更好。
The Quran is regarded by Muslims as the last revelation of Allah to mankind. It contains prayers and thanks to Allah for creating all things and giving mankind a wealth of wisdom and the return of life and the soul. After in-depth comparison of religions, many similarities can be found in Buddhism and Islam.
Islam is a peace-loving religion. What does the word Islam mean? If we look at it, it means submission to God or Allah. If we surrender Allah, this will enable us to do good deeds. I found that this is also the Master's teaching. This is also the true meaning of Islam.
But no matter what religion one follows, love is the common language.
这一个爱呢，是要无染的大爱，那种清澈如琉璃一般的爱。宗教不应该分别，因为呢，它都是真理，没有真理，无法传承。
Faith helps lead us, and after years of baptism, the truth in the scriptures remains unchanged, as love is used to connect good people.
Tzu Chi Hong Kong chapter worked with the hotel group to prepare blessing bags for seniors, patients, and low-income families. Take a look and see you next time.